Good morning and welcome to What Shape Are You In? I've been doing, I hope you're with me, a series on culture and how it shapes our mind, just like a fishbowl shapes the water and the world of a fish. So we've been using several metaphors here, working metaphors, that culture is a fishbowl, and it's like Russian nesting dolls. So you keep opening up one doll, you find another. So you open up culture, you keep finding subcultures in it, like American culture, then regional culture, then religious culture, political culture, family culture, all the way down to the last doll, which is you. But you are shaped by all these other dolls. So we need to understand and see what shapes our water. Remember the movie, The Shape of Water? What shapes our water? So today, the title is Lost in Space. That was a great TV show. We're lost in space. Now, how are we lost in space? Okay. My spiritual journey started because of the pain of being outside of myself, of being outside of my experience, always looking in. Always like the little story of some kid out, you're looking in through the frosty window and you're out in the cold and everybody inside is all warm and having a good time, and you're out there looking in, you see. That's the modern mind. The modern mind is a viewpoint that is outside of our experience. We're always since exiled from my own life. See, our experience is life, you see. Now, whatever you see out there, I see this iPad, I see the light, I see everything I see, I'm experiencing. So everything that I see in this room is me, but I'm outside of it so I can do stuff with it, you see. I got this and I can write on here. I can operate on this world as experience from that viewpoint. But there's an exile, there's a pain in it. And I wanted to solve that puzzle. So I began my journey basically to solve the problem of why I was outside of myself all the time. And when you're outside of yourself, you're critical. Oh, you're not doing right. Oh, they're looking at you. Oh, you feel shame. You feel guilt. Or you don't know what to do. I can't, whatever. It's all because we are outside of ourselves, looking at ourselves as an object like other people, and then do I measure up? Am I good enough? Do I look good? You see. Am I pleasing to you? Am I measuring up? You see. Do you love me? You see. So all of this outside view of ourselves creates a tension between what I should be and what I am. And I always come up short, you see. Or the opposite way, I'm perfect. I'm the judge. And everyone else is inferior, you see. That's the opposite. Either I'm inferior or I'm better than everybody else. Those are the two choices when you have a view from the outside. So what is this view from the outside? Well, I can trace it back. You can trace it back. Those who study this trace it back to the beginning of the modern age. Now, the modern age was born in the Age of Enlightenment out of the womb of the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages died as a culture, a Russian nesting doll, in which all the other subcultures were nested. The big nesting doll changed with the age of reason, the age of science, the age of rational materialism, you see, empirical materialism. Science, the scientific method, while it did exist, became a successful worldview when human consciousness evolved to the point where it realized that if you had a viewpoint outside of stuff, you could fix stuff and make new stuff. So science basically was a way to control the future successfully. It worked. So the old way of controlling the future, which was praying to God, the boss, you see, was just bypassed. Science worked better. You could pray to God and do all kinds of rituals and blessings and burn incense and do chants and say magic words and all that. But you could change the future faster and better and more predictably with science than you could through magic, you see. So this created the viewpoint of the scientist. The scientist is a viewpoint from outside of the material he's working on. He's observing it. Same way with a reporter, the objective reporter. What does that mean? It means he's outside of what he's reporting on and he's not interfering with it. He is outside of it, reporting on it to you. Or the scientist is studying the stuff to find out what the laws are that make that stuff do things, and when he finds that law, he can make the stuff do things repeatedly. It's called a recipe. And if he gives you the recipe, you can make it too if you follow the recipe. It doesn't matter who you are. You may beat your children. It doesn't matter, you see. Your morality has no effect on the recipe. Unless it's a religious recipe, well then, of course, your morality will have an effect on it. But we're talking about objective recipes here. So this viewpoint that began to crystallize as a culture in the modern world became solidified as the only viewpoint because it was so successful. So now now the modern mind is lost in space. We're lost in a viewpoint that has exiled our sense of self from reality, so we're always outside of it. And we call that viewpoint me, the ego. That's who we think we are. We believe I'm that outside. That is a unique, separate sense of me. Other cultures don't have that. So, a good example, just check. You don't have to believe me, just check it out. Next time you go to a wedding reception, okay? So you're standing there at the wedding reception, and everyone is dancing. Maybe it's early in the evening, early in the reception. The dancing starts, and usually it's women, and they're just going at it, And you're standing like this, and you're watching it, and you're split. A part of you wants to be in the dance. A part of you wants to not be in the dance. Well, I look like a fool. I can't dance. I need some more liquor. You see. I'm not ready to jump in there. There's a strong sense of me here. You can feel it. A strong sense of me, but there's pain in it. They're having so much fun. It's like looking in through the frosty window at people having a Christmas party, and you're out there in the cold, you see. You want to be in there, but if you go in there, you're going to lose your me. You see, the double bind. I got to have me. If I jump in there and dance and lose myself in the dance, where will I be? So I'm here. So there's a pull. So you look at the reception. So look at my time. So the women are in there dancing. Maybe your wife or your girlfriend or something. It's like, come on in, come on. They'll even go get you and pull you in. Oh, okay. And the next thing you know, you're just going to town and you've forgotten your me. But every now and then you'll flip back into it and say, oh, am I making a fool of myself? Oh, isn't this, but then you lose yourself again, you see. So we're constantly doing this. We're constantly shifting back and forth between the watching me and the dancing me. Now, the dancing me is life. When you're dancing, you are the dance, unless you're self-conscious. And you can watch the flipping back and forth. It's like my favorite Gestalt picture between the old hag and the princess. We're flipping back and forth. The old hag is the me standing out here, and the princess is the me who's lost in the dance, in life. I am the dance. I am life. So it's the joyous me versus the exiled, painful, suffering me. Two me's. That's why I'd make this split here. So the two me's, you see, there's one who's being pulled to be separate, unique, an individual. A unique individual. That's me, you see. But to be that me, I can't be in the dance. I can't be the dance, you see. So it's very difficult for us in the modern age, lost in the space of the viewpoint. The viewpoint. The viewpoint, you know, if you go up on the Blue Ridge Mountains, and which is in Virginia, and there are viewpoints. Pull off. Sit on a bench. Have a viewpoint. And then after you get bored with that viewpoint, you go up and you find another one. And you may get into an argument with somebody. Say, well, my viewpoint is the better one. Stay here. No, well, there's one up here. So now we got viewpoints arguing about viewpoints. But neither one of the viewpoints is the Blue Ridge Mountains. But then suppose you leave the viewpoint and go down into the valley, and you walk on the trail, and you're lost in the nature of it, and you just are the Blue Ridge Mountains. Unless somebody calls your name. Hey, you, what are you doing? Now you're back in me. A moment ago, I was the Blue Ridge Mountains. I was walking in the nature. I was the mountains. I was the nature. I was the dance. And then suddenly somebody calls my name. Whoop, back out there. We flip back and forth between the hag and the princess all the time, but we don't understand what's going on, you see. We don't understand that our culture locks us into this viewpoint that is outside of our experience and makes us believe that is the only me. So the me that's lost in the dance is a fluke. We just happen to do it once in a while when the conditions are right. But then immediately we're back into the old me and, I'm sorry, judging ourselves or wanting to have it again. Oh, I sure want to be in that dancing. I wish I could do that again. I wish I could do that more, you see. I wish I could feel free like that. I wish I could be that. I wish I could be the dance. Be Zorba the Greek, you see. But we can't because our culture only recognizes on the map of culture unique individuals. And be unique. Stand out. Be number one. Well, here's number one. If I'm number one, I can't be the dance because there's no number one in the dance. There's just the dance. I can't be number one and be in the dance at the same time. But culture doesn't really have a map or understanding of reality. But all that's changing today. So the viewpoint that is lost in space is breaking up thanks to the internet and the cultural shift. But that's another story. So thanks for dropping in, and I'll see you next time.